We just got to Baku International and we're going to take the Aerobus shuttle. It only costs 150 in their currency, manat, which is like times 10 in rands. And how did we do it? When we got out the airport, if you look over there, that machine, we just print out a card. It charges you 2 manat for the card, and yeah, we just loaded it with credit, 10 manat. There's no change, so come with small denominators. And this bus runs every half an hour, so yeah, we'll keep you posted. Oh, and because we flew with Flynas and a baby, they gave us 10 kg free check-in for the baby. The pram as well, it's free to check in. And then we came with our carry-ons. Mine's weighs 7 kg, my wife's only 3.5 kgs. Okay, so we just got off our bus stop. We got off at the bus station called 28 May. It's not a date, but the name of the bus station. So this is where you get all the buses from. It took around 40 minutes to get you from the airport, and we preferred it because we got to see more of the city. If we took a cab, it would have been quicker, but no regrets. First stop is getting a SIM card. I read that Azerbaijan has the best signal, and they say it's best to come to the shop directly to get the SIM card. They have better deals. The airport's apparently the most expensive. And also when it comes to exchanging money, don't do it at the airport, just a small denominator to get by. So now we're going to get a SIM card from Azerbaijan. Got to Azerbaijan, and this is the packages that they offer. Look, if you just want data, 19 manat for 12 gigabytes. What I got was this one over here, 29 manat, 20 gigabytes, and 600 minutes in case I need to call the hotel or something of that sort. So now that we got this done, next step is to exchange our dollars into manat. I was lucky that I got 50 manat from someone in Saudi Arabia who's from Azerbaijan, so at least I didn't have to withdraw at the airport. Otherwise, I would have gotten a little bit from the airport. So we are at Bank Respublika. An interesting fact about Azerbaijan, the US dollar is fixed. So 1.7 is the exchange rate you're going to get no matter where you go. All the banks give the same rate, except the airports. The airports give really terrible rates. So if you travel from Saudi Arabia, more good news is that the Saudi Riyal is fixed to the USD. So basically, your currency doesn't lose its value since it's fixed. So yeah, I think they're gonna buy it from us at 1.69. Okay, one's the buying price and one's the selling price. I think they sell it at 1.7 and they buy it from 1.69, which isn't much of a difference. And Google says 1.7, so that's great. So we are staying at the old town. So we have to enter through this fortified gate. And you can see the contrast of old versus new. I think this is the subway in here. So this is new, nice modern glass architecture. And that's old in front. So we're going to enter through the gate, and then I think we'll be in Old Town. If you come in Baku for your first time, it'll be best to stay in Old Town because there's a lot to explore from Old Town, and it's very walk-in friendly.
Old Town, Persia. Let's enter the old city. Okay, now we're in the old town. So, first stop when you come into the old town, let me show you on our left-hand side. So you just entered our beautiful town and you're coming on your long travels, and you know what? Before you come in, we need you to step aside. They had a quarantine area here, which is now this beautiful garden. And here we get to the hammam. I will hopefully show you what it looks like inside. But below you can see there would be a place where they burn coal, and underneath those domes, the actual hammam. So all Persian cities at the time had hammams at the entrance, and each neighborhood had a mosque, a hammam. So this is just showing you the excavations. They believe that it all got covered up during Russian and Soviet rule, but on the inside, a really beautiful 12th century hammam. Oh, and the last thing, so a hammam, a mosque, and a town square for all the stores. Now we'd be in what would be the town square. Kind of still a few stalls going on, I guess. Again, I must point out things that really stand out to me about Baku. How well cared for everything is. It's so tidy, it's so clean. and the green spaces they've created within the city. I just love all the little details in the buildings. Some cats. If you love art and culture, you are guaranteed to love Baku. Water fountains within the city, all ancient. Now I'm going to show you the Eiffel Tower of Baku. You ready? Yeah, Hafsa thinks it's great. So here we are, the Eiffel Tower of Baku. It's called Maiden Tower. Maiden, the name coming from being impregnable, because you could not breach its fortifications. There's the flames through this tree. Sorry, I just want to put Hafsa down. And in front of me is the Ocean Boulevard and the Caspian Sea. Sorry, Sea Boulevard, not ocean. You don't want to play in the grass? So this land that we're standing on is already claimed. The sea is out there, but it used to come up to the bedrock of the Maiden Tower. So this stood right along the sea. Many theories about what it is. Some say planetarium because those windows you see only face one direction, and the light that shines in can tell you the time of day. Towards the 19th century it was used as a lighthouse, and some just say it was a defensive fortress. Planetarium, defensive fortress, lighthouse, one of many things. They don't know who built it, they don't know why. It's shrouded in mystery, but it's an iconic symbol of the city. So just look at how beautiful the city of Baku is. We're heading up to Highland Park for sunset, but you can definitely tell we're in Europe. This is like a main traffic circle. That's a mall, kind of resembling Sydney Opera House in front of us. The Caspian Sea is in front of us. That's the national flag of Azerbaijan. It's just so neat and wonderful. Alright, welcome to the best sunset spot in Baku. In front of me you can see the mall. It's like the Sydney Opera House. Oh, the clouds are covering that arch, but the architecture is amazing. It's just like a juxtaposition between modern and ancient. Those are the flame towers. Hopefully we'll be here for you to see them, light them up. Azerbaijan is known as the land of fire because it has a ever-burning fire mountain, which we will visit and show to you. But yeah, there's a funicular to get up here. Otherwise you can take the stairs. We took the stairs because funicular wasn't running today, so check out why that doesn't happen some days. Fun fact about the Caspian Sea. It's actually a lake. So Baku is the lowest national capital in the world. It actually lies about 17 meters below sea level. Baku, capital of Azerbaijan, land of flame. The flame towers are warming up, so we'll get to see it when it lights up. Baku is also known as the Windy City. So definitely, we're here in spring. The weather's pleasant, but come with good gear.
Check out the flame towers. It's flaming. Check out the towers now at night. That's the Azerbaijani flag, and the lights always keep on moving. And we just broke our fast now, and now the whole city is coming to light. It's quite lit. Baku is a perfect balance between old and new. We stayed in the old town, and because of the oil boom, there's a lot of modern buildings, and also there's a lot of remains of the USSR, because before its independence, it was part of the USSR. So people do speak a lot of Russian over here, as well as Azerbaijani, and not sure what else. Oh, one of our favorite spots is this memorial, Shahadla, because of the fire. So it's keeping us nice and cozy. And this memorial has to do with two things: Black January, which was a dissolution of the USSR, the people who died in that, and the people who died in, I forgot the pronunciation, but basically it was a war between Azerbaijan and Armenia. I think they still got some conflict going on up to this day. So yeah, a lot of history.
Wow, check out this beautiful mosque, Heydar Mosque. It's so beautiful. This is just from the outside. We're still gonna check the inside out. I have to like zoom all the way out to get it, but it's so beautiful. With such big doors and such great design. Staying in a hotel that's built in 1860, and they made special arrangements to give us seri. Some bread and tea. How you have the tea here is you put the sugar cube in your mouth first, so that's how you make it sweet. And some eggs, some cottage cheese, normal cheese, butter, honey, I think like kind of like bologna, and an orange.
Good morning! So we're on our way for our free city tour. It is very windy in Baku. You need a windbreaker. The hotels are built really well. Everything's super insulated. No, it is cold. If you look outside, it looks stunning, but it is so windy, and the people here, they just dress glamorously regardless. So we look a bit strange all geared out, but everybody else, it's cold. Okay, so let's talk about symbols. Here we see a bull's head with two circles aside. Either side of it, that's the Zoroastrian temple symbol. And two lions on either side of it, which are symbols of strength and pride in the old Persian Empire. So those two lions are protecting the Zoroastrian city in the middle. Below that there's also Quranic inscription. This town is 12th century Persian era. This is Double Gate. Two entrances. This is the inner wall of the city. The whole city is fortified by a 1.5 kilometer wall. The inner wall. The outer wall has now been destroyed. It was shorter. It ran in this area that's now a garden in the modern city. So the one wall had a moat, and the one had an area where they'd have oil, and they'd light the oil if anyone entered and burn them alive. Beyond these walls, there was really nothing else. It was desert. Believe it or not, Baku is a desert. They just have a ton of oil money, which they've built this beautiful city with and irrigated it. So all the greenery that you see is planted. Okay, and here is the real oldest mosque in Baku, the oldest minaret in northern Baku. The inscription says that it was built by Ustad Rais. '12th century. Not open. Now you go up the only trace of Ottoman architecture in the whole old town. They only ruled for 25 years. And that was it. Okay, Baku first impression so far. It's clean, it's tidy, very European. People are really friendly, really helpful. And this is the main high street, Nizam Street. I believe it's a good place to come check out at night.
To show you, but this morning we did a free walk-in tour and we met outside the KFC. Highly recommend doing it. No matter which country I go to, that's the first thing I do, a free city walk-in tour, so that I can get like introduced to the place. It's a good introduction, and yeah, you just get your bearings right. So although the free city walk-in tours are free, you don't have to pay, but we highly recommend tipping, because it's like they're full-time jobs, and they're highly knowledgeable. You can ask so many questions. So because we still have to tour tour Azerbaijan, We asked him for like recommendations. He even told us where to eat, what to eat, sent us the locations. What you're looking at, or who you're looking at, is Nizam. He is a famous intellect and I think poet as well. And okay, it's nighttime so you can't really see, but anyway, if you turn around, there's this building of literature, museum of literature, and these are all the people that look up to him. So he's like their mentor, basically. And they're also very famous poets and academics, and that is Nizam Street, named after him. So highly recommend going, and please tip appropriately.
So this is a really cool point because you can see so many different types of architecture. Directly in front of me, this is the palace of Shirvanshahs, which we're going to go check out. It's 15th century. Behind that you see those gold steeples. That's the Russian Orthodox Church. You have the European style buildings, Soviet era, and then your ultra modern Baku. Amazing. Okay, so to come into this place, it is 15 minutes. If you want a guide, 20. There are also combo tickets for the museums. When we were here, a lot of the museums weren't open. So you just gotta look into that if you want to check out the museums. It includes the Maiden Tower and a couple other museums. So check out what's open before you come and do that. So a little bit about the Shirvanshahs. They preceded. Originally, they were of Arabian origin, and then slowly mixed with Iranian or Persians. This particular compound ranges from the 12th century all the way to the 15th century. It has residential buildings, masjids, tombs, and it is one of the only types of this architecture in what they call the Near East. So let's in and check it out. Main courtyard and entrance. So that's a gate through the fortress. This is the inscription entering the whole residence, the fortress. The inscription was at the entrance of the fortress, in the name of Allah, and it says who asked them to build it. In front of me you see a small masjid, masjid slash madrasa, where the children were educated by Sufi scientists, also Sufi mystics. So they were educated in both contemporary sciences as well as the traditional fiqh. One of the Shahs studied fiqh himself. Watchtowers of the fortress. Sorry, Hafsa bashed the place with her head. Flame towers in the background. This next to us is the residential building that we saw. Underneath the masjid is the tomb of their educator. Okay, welcome to the masjid, but let's focus on our next doorway. This, before me, is the Shah family tombs. Okay, so there we have the family tombs. To the right hand side, left hand side, we have the masjid. Masjid was built 1441 to 1442. It has a main area for the Shahs and the court to pray, and there's also a women's praying area. The steps are so big and dangerous that I don't like to video when I'm going up them because I have to focus. Here we are. Beautiful. All these windows for natural light and ventilation. This is the ladies' area. Gosh. Let's go. The ladies. Do not come here with a wheelchair. Do not come here with a pram. Do not come here with bad knees. These stairs are no joke. So So now we are back to the main courtyard, fountain area, the residential building, and over there the divan or reception area and tomb. Beautiful gardens for the residents, for the fountain. Stop it. A wudu corner, possibly. Right, and then following the masjid, an essential part of any good household would be the hammam. This hammam was built in 1436. The water came from an underground reservoir. Let's check it out. Okay, they're not letting us in, but that actual dome part is the actual hammam. You can see seating in there. There might have been more where the domes haven't survived. Shame. This whole dynasty, the Shirvanshahs, were always in a permanent struggle. They were stuck between a lot of empires and kingdoms. And the place has suffered quite a few bombings by both Russia and Armenia at various points in its history. Most recently, and I think most damaging, was Armenia in 1918. How cool is it that in this old 12th century building they've built in ventilation? Cool, hey? And so the reason you'll see there's raised steps at the doorways is because they lived on the floor, kept the cold out.
So what you see in here is the tomb, and let me show you how to get out. As you see, it's like bent down, so I'm crawling at the moment. And then to watch your head, and now you gotta climb up these steps. I'm using my hands because it's huge steps and quite steep. See? And that's where the tomb is. And I think there was a madrasa here by a scientist, also a Sufi mystic.
Alright, this is the world's biggest miniature book museum.
The world's smallest miniature book museum.
World's biggest miniature book museum.
World's biggest miniature
Book museum. So, special collection of really tiny books. Some of them are really unique, I think. This tiny book went to the International Space Station and back. The proof there, religious books. It's a really tiny Quran. One of these Qurans you can only read with a magnifying glass. Religious books. This section is on all the mini books published in various countries. It's like a collector's thing, I guess. Like some people collect stamps, some people make tiny books, some people collect tiny books. It's free entrance, so I guess why not check it out? The lady who owns the collection is in her 90s now. She started when she was about 50. We're now arriving at the Heydar Aliyev Museum. It is probably the most comprehensive museum if you want to know about the city's culture and history. We'll check it out inside and keep you informed. It is horribly good. Inside the museum, they've got art installations and artifacts. This is a very nice museum, but it is very confusing. There's a lot to see. There's some things I would prioritize if I had time, others not. And there's not a lot of signage telling you what the situation is.
I'm now inside the museum. In this section they have like miniature versions of the real deal. So this is Jummah Mosque, and this is the oldest mosque in Azerbaijan. It was constructed in 1743. So we hope to see that mosque. I mean, there's really beautiful mosques over here. Here's another one. So interesting fact about Azerbaijan, It's 96% Muslim, 85% Shia, and 15% Sunni. However, it's quite a secular country because they were under the USSR regime, whereby religion was basically illegal. So if you go towards the south of Azerbaijan, they're a bit more religious because they're on the border of Iran. But there's also, at one stage, Azerbaijan was a Christian country. Also, Zoroastrianism was big. It's a monotheistic faith. And oh, so this is another museum which you can visit, the Museum of the Azerbaijan Carpet. And what I learned over here is that a lot of buildings in Azerbaijan are new. Like this one here, the Four Seasons Baku Hotel, was only constructed in 2012. So Azerbaijan is definitely new to tourism, unlike Georgia. So I like it because it's not too touristy as yet. There's so many buildings that's just been erected recently. So you see that flag over there? That was erected in 2010, which made it the world's tallest flagpole at the time of construction. And look at those towers there. That's the the Flame Towers, I think. Also 2012. So most of these places were constructed around 2010. So that's new. This beach resort place is also new, also around 2010. That building is also new. So definitely you should check out Azerbaijan. It's on the rise, and come check it out before it becomes a tourist trap. Here's the model of where I am currently. I'm taking this video at Heydar Aliyev Center. I think Heydar was the president. Even the airport was constructed recently. So what I learned over here as well is that I learned about the genocide. There's been a lot of genocide here. We're going to visit some sites. It's basically places where I think the Armenians attacked and killed a lot of innocent Azerbaijanis. So to this day, they still don't see eye to eye.
For me, and possibly for a lot of people, the real marvel is the building itself. With all its beautiful curves. It's really impressive. And now what I really came for is the carpet section. I love a good carpet. Look at the detail, the stories told in these carpets. Look, this is a really big and really good museum. I think it takes a long time to go through it, and if you're like us, you don't have a lot of time. If you had to do any floor, I would suggest just coming to this floor. It gives you so much info on the history, culture, and art. The history of Azerbaijan through carpet knots. These ceramics are from the 11th and 12th centuries. Look at all the areas where they have rock art in their country. And these are petroglyphs. There's a person. A goat from Gobustan, which we're hopefully going to check out tomorrow. It's a dish. So these carpets are inspired by Shaki, the palace in Shaki, which we will be visiting, so we'll show it to you later. These are more modern pieces of work. So they show you the actual artist's sketch for the carpet. They show you how they paint it then. And then here's the final piece of work, woven. And you can see it's a pomegranate tree based on the tree of paradise. I love birds. I've never seen carpet art before. But I can see kingfishers, sunbirds, a heron. It's really wonderful. There's actually multiple parts to this piece. And these are the traditional clothing styles of the different areas. So this is gancha. Kuba. Karabakh. Kazakh. There are 8 different schools for carpentry in Azerbaijan. Baku, traditional wear. Next there is a floor on doll making, which is quite an art, but I like these wooden dolls because they show so much personality and character of the Azerbaijani people. But there are also these, which are more works that show people, show more detail. They're very realistic. Anyway, dolls. The art of doll making. Now we are gonna use the metro to get back to our hotel. We don't know if it's a bus or a train, but we'll find out. It's a train, guys. We're going on a train. So, as amazing as public transport is in the city, it is not wheelchair, disability, or anything friendly. We're here in peak hours, so guys, it's busy. But Google Maps integrates with the public system, so that's amazing. That's how we ended up here. Google Maps told us which train to get on, told us which stop to get off at, told us how far to walk to the train station. Now we're on the train. It's really easy to use. There's the lines there. Hafsa making friends on the train as always. Okay, we've just left. This is the metro station. So you can take the train to get to the old town if you're staying here. And now we're entering the old town. And again, look at that contrast.
Welcome to Yanadagh. So Azerbaijan is also known as the land of fire because of this right here. This has been burning for thousands of years. It's been burning for so long that no one even knows when it started to burn. And how is it burning? It's because of methane gas. Azerbaijan is rich in gas. So this is methane, what you've seen. And the entrance over here was 9 manat. However, if you buy a combo ticket with this and the fire temple, then it's 15. So you save, I think, 6 if you had to do it like that. We are at a old Zoroastrian place of worship. Do you know what Zoroastrianism is? Have you heard of it? Well, Zoroastrianism is one of the world's oldest monotheistic faith. They believe in a heaven and hell. It shares quite a lot of similarities with Islam. So Zoroastrian was a prophet according to Zoroastrianism. According to Islam, I don't think they officially recognize Zoroastrian as a prophet. However, Islam does believe that messages were sent throughout the world to preach monotheism. So Zoroastrians, they pray 5 times a day, and they also believe in the day of judgment you'll walk across a thin line, and I think if you make it to the end you go to heaven. So the Zoroastrian ruins are no longer, well, the Zoroastrians, they used to come over here because of fire. I think they consider fire sacred. However, this temple that you're seeing right now was built in the 17th century by Hindus, and I think they were fire worshippers. So they came over here, I think, for trade along the... Yeah, they came here for trade, and this was a natural fire. So I think now the fire is depleted because in the 19th century, towards the end of, I think in 1905, the Russians came over here and they extracted all the oil. So there's no longer a natural fire, but I mean, that was the channel for it. So yeah, I'm really interested into learning more about Zoroastrianism, but unfortunately, there's not much to learn over here because it's mainly you learn mainly about the current temple. So we learned a lot about Hinduism. If you want to learn more about Zoroastrianism, I think Iran still has a big Zoroastrian population because I think it started in Persia, it started over there. A lot of the Zoroastrians who used to live over here, then I think they fled to India. So Azerbaijan was before, I think many years ago, predominantly Zoroastrian, and then in the 7th century Islam became the dominant faith. Today it's quite multicultural. Islam is still the dominant faith. However, because of communism, many people are culturally identify as Muslim.
Typical fashion of a Zoroastrian temple would be to have the central altar with the little steeple on top with the four sides, and the corners indicating to the cardinal points. The four sides, often in four colors to represent the four elements of the earth. All the elements are important in the Zoroastrian faith. Many elements of which are still present in the society today, most notably the most important holiday in this country, Novruz, or the spring equinox. Okay, Gobustan National Park. In front of me, Caspian Sea. It's so close, it's like an hour from Baku. Come on a group tour, they'll combine it with the Zoroastrian temple, Yanadag, which is the fire mountain, the mud volcanoes, and the park. It's much easier that way. We didn't do it that way, and we have regrets. I can't find the camel. Okay. So we are at the actual Gobustan rock petroglyph site. This is a musical rock. They could tell from the indentations in the rock and the reverberations that it was most likely used for music. We're gonna go check out the petroglyphs now. Everything's really well marked. Info board telling you about the musical rock. We're just coming from the museum. The museum is fantastic. You have to do included in the ticket price for 10 minutes.
Yeah, includes us.
10 manat includes the museum and the actual rock outside. Honestly, for the quality of museum and for what you're seeing, so worth the price. If you look right in front of me, there's literally petroglyphs on this very rock. What are we seeing? I think we are seeing an aurochs, amongst other things. Close up of the boats. Cool. We're loving it. It's super windy. To get here, I personally would recommend coming in a tour group. It's quite complicated by public transport or by taxi. Look, it just looks like a bunch of lines, but you can really appreciate the magnitude of these drawings. And there's it explained there. I just want to show you how big they are. All I can ever spot is the goat. With ease. Gotta watch your head. Such a wonderful sight. You really feel like you're a big adventure here. As you can see, there are signs telling you exactly what to look out for and where. Here's rock number 67 up there with the dancing images. So, these are volcanoes. The country actually has so much gas and petroleum that they don't even tap into the supply here. They have separate pockets of methane gas where they harvest gas, mine gas, that they then use for selling.
Thanks for watching all the way until the end. Be sure to check out our 3-part series of Azerbaijan. There's this video as well as a video solely dedicated to our hike, our village to village hike, and we also have a video of our road trip through Azerbaijan countryside. Let us know which part in Baku is your favorite, which video of the 3-part series is your favorite. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe.